What is up, you guys? It's your host, Galadon. You are watching Galadon Gaming, another episode of Clash Royale, and today we are talking about hashtag made my own legendary. Yes, you guys using this website right here are making your own cards. It doesn't have to be a legendary card. That was just kind of the idea, and I was going to put them into a video, and here is one of those videos. Now, it's not completely outrageous that an idea coming from a player might end up being an actual card in the game. Look at the Night and Day card. Somebody came up with that. Oh, wait, that was me. And now, Elite Barbarians. I don't know, pretty similar. Okay, so what we are going to do is look at some of the viewer submissions for Made My Own Legendary, and you guys, the viewers, are going to vote in the straw poll down in the description on who you think deserves to be the top 3. All right, and here we go. First things first, we've got the catapults. Now, an idea for a new siege type building, a new defense, is a possibility always, and this one is going to deal damage to ground and air, so similar to, say, a wizard tower, but at a longer range. I don't know. You guys decide. How about the blowhorn? You got a lazy king. This is a way to double the damage of an individual tower, or in this case, just the king's tower. It does seem like a unique way of looking at a card that has an ability different than anything you've ever seen. The blowhorn, waking up the king. A cloak spell. Now, I did come up with a smoke screen spell at one point. Similarly here, you won't be able to see the enemy troops for a limited amount of time. The cloak spell, kind of different, kind of wow, kind of, okay, not really, but it's up to you, again, to decide. The portal. This one may be a little bit overpowered. The idea that you could open a portal on the other side of the battlefield and transport your troops over there, maybe more Star Trek than Clash Royale. The Cannon Rider, one of my personal favorites. I love the graphic of the Hog Rider inside the cannon. The cousin of the Hog Rider, if the rider hits the tower, the cannon hits the enemies. I don't know, I put it in just because I think it looks cool to see the Hog Rider's head poking out of a barrel of a cannon. Okay, how about a stone? Okay, some people have come up with this idea, the idea of something that could be a hard counter to, say, the log or the bowler's balls. Anyway, the stone, another card idea right here. The Geist, I like this one, kind of unusual. Looks like a lone spirit, so like a lone fire spirit or a lone ice spirit. This is a Geist. He jumps and then possesses the opposing troop. Maybe turns him around and he fights for you for a limited amount of time. Kind of cool. The Defender. This one casts a shield that protects troops from spell damage. Another hard counter to things like the log and even lightning and a rocket. I know other people have talked about having some sort of shield spell. The Defender would do that same function right there. How about the sleep spell? I don't know. Okay, so the sleep spell. When a builder accidentally spilled a freeze and a rage spell combined, it became the sleep spell. It reminds me of a scene out of Step Brothers, the movie, where you're not supposed to wake up people who are sleepwalking. Maybe it's like you put the troops to sleep, but and then if they get damaged, they wake up and they're enraged because you woke them up out of... All right, moving on. Level 9 rats. You never know. It's not a legendary card. It's an actual animal. And I don't know. When I see rats, I think of like pestilence, disease. Not a personal favorite of mine, but who knows? Rats on the battlefield. Okay, next up, we've got the Giant Bomb. Here's a transplant from Clash of Clans. The Giant Bomb, a hidden trap that's an explosion that destroys almost anything that comes close to it. So kind of similar to maybe the bomb dropped by the Giant Skeleton. Seems like definitely a powerful tool to have in your arsenal. How about Flying Skeletons? Also something from Clash of Clans. You've got these skeletons that came out of the skeleton trap. And here they are, Larry and his friends Harry, Jerry, and Barry. Alright, so could happen, you never know. How about a Shield Maiden? Now, I picked this one because one of my favorite shows on TV right now is Vikings. The level 4 Shield Maiden. Do not be deceived by the Shield Maiden's good looks, for she is a fierce warrior. She becomes enraged when her shield is destroyed. So another unit, kind of like the guards, has a shield until it's knocked down, then it becomes enraged. Maybe. The Wall. Okay, so here we go, again from Clash of Clans. Personally, not one of my favorites. The idea that we're going to be putting walls up in this game, just slowing things down. I doubt this will ever happen, but I got a lot of submissions like this, the earlier stone, and I wanted to put it in here again just to give you guys an opportunity to vote for it. Now the Engineer, this was one that not only came with a description, but there was also an associated Reddit post about this. I got a lot of submissions for builders, something that would repair buildings. I like this one the best, and I like the graphic of the Engineer on a mission to extend the lifetime of your buildings. The Sandstorm. So we've already got the Tornado. Why not throw in a Sandstorm? It does slow down the enemies a massive amount, and then also damages them as well. So I don't know. It's a possibility. You've got lightning in there. I don't know. That sounds like a heck of a storm. How about the level 1 Glider? Lost Phoenix, anybody? Anyway, Glider, I guess it's a goblin on a hang glider who has a knife. Next card. The Ultimate P.E.K.K.A. Sounds like the Mega P.E.K.K.A. I had to throw this one in there because look at those values. I mean, come on. The area damage, hit points unlimited, armor hit points unlimited, death damage never dies. Okay. The Water Mage. We've got one that creates a wave of water that pushes troops back, never mind the spelling, when it dies, and makes a tidal wave 3 blocks in any direction. So, I don't know, just, it's kind of different. Okay. The level 1 Destroyer. Somebody's been playing too much World of Tanks or something like that. Another one, the building that destroys everything in range. It's a building, but there's an image of a tank. All right. And the Shrapnel Balloon. We've got a balloon, but this guy's got shrapnel, so when the stuff drops to the ground, apparently it does area damage larger than a balloon. Sometimes taking existing units and making them different is cool, but personally, I like completely unique stuff. How about this one? I had to throw it in there. Okay, area damage infinite. The level 5 nuke spell. Okay, obviously this is not, most of these are never going to exist in the game, you guys, but it's fun, and we're going to let you guys vote on it. Vote if you like the nuke. Only 10 elixir. How about the Archer Tower? See, again, we're talking about the possibility of another defensive building that would just defend against both ground and air. The Archer Tower wouldn't do the splash damage like, say, a Wizard Tower would do. Some say you already have a Tesla that would be too similar. I don't know. I like this one for the new Jungle Arena. The level 1 Piranha, it can only attack ground troops. After the first bite, it gets worse. It swims back and forth in the river, so I guess it's a way to involve the river. But what about if you're at that one that has all the gears? That fish would not do well. I guess that's sushi. And I like this one. The level 1 Gobbo Cannon. The deadly cannon that shoots out goblins one at a time. I mean, you're already shooting goblin barrels. Why not shoot individual goblins? There you go. And it'll charge up to 3 goblins at once and then shoot right in front of it. It sounds pretty complicated. Next up, the Minion Nest. Now, we had a lot of submissions for buildings that would spawn either minions or ice spirits. I think I might have even put that in a previous video, like a refrigerator or an igloo. Here is the Minion Nest that spawns minions. Next up is the Paladin, a holy knight crusading in the name of good order and a divine warrior in the arena. You've got to look for something, again, that's unique about these that's going to make them work. Otherwise, it's just too much like maybe the existing knight. How about the Templar Warrior? Kind of similar to the Paladin. Threw it in there, another holy warrior. But again, I'm looking for unique abilities, unique functions for these new troops to make them really, really cool. Next up is the Ogre. So I like this idea. He's kind of different. He slows down over time, so maybe he has bad physical conditioning. He gets weaker and slower as time goes on. Again, the damage, the hit points, the damage per second, that stuff you kind of have to really figure that's going to be tweaks later. Just vote on these for the general card idea, not for the specific numbers. The Ice Dragon. I kind of like this. It's cool. We only have 1 dragon right now, so why not throw in an Ice Dragon? Icy power that comes from the North Pole. Fear my icy breath. And the Rock. It's no ordinary rock. It blocks enemy troops and it spawns a Golemite when destroyed. I kind of like the idea of a rock turning into a Golemite. Similar to the wall, some of the ideas we saw earlier, but also unique in that it's a Golemite spawner. And that is going to wrap it up for these card ideas for this episode. Now, I know what you're saying. I can come up with a better idea than any of these, Galadon, and that's what I want to hear. So submit your ideas to me, hashtag Made My Own Legendary, and I will look for them and put them in a future video. If yours gets voted one of the top 3, you will be eligible to receive a US iTunes or Google Play gift card, so watch for that. Submit your ideas, and as always, thank you for sticking around all the way to the end of this episode. You guys are the true #GalaFam. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, comment down below something other than these card ideas are terrible, and subscribe for the earliest possible update and sneak peek information. Check back again tomorrow for another Clash video, and until then, get out there and make every attack a full attack.